Follow-through and overlapping action are the fifth animation principle listed in Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston's book, The Illusion of Life Disney Animation. Follow-through and overlapping action are two different concepts that work in conjunction with each other, but we're also going to talk about a concept called drag. Follow-through, overlapping action, and drag are all terms describing different concepts, yet they are often confused with each other. They are all in their own way related to the settle of the body following an action, which can explain the confusion. Examining pose shifts in animation, follow-through refers to the how of the parts of the body continuing to move after the action is already finished. Overlapping action describes the offset in timing between the main action and the parts of the body following through. Drag refers to the technique of delaying parts of the body from the rest. Let's back up a bit and look at the human body. The torso of the body is essentially our core. We move around from here. Things like arms, legs, heads, breasts, hair, and sometimes even fat are considered loose and have the potential of applying drag to them. If we move our torso and the action wasn't being led by our arms, their disconnect from the body's core allows them the opportunity to follow through. How strong of a follow-through should these appendages have? Well, that's completely reliant on the inertia. The faster the main action is, the larger the follow-through will be. The size of the follow-through is also determined by the object's weight. The lighter the object is, the stronger influence the main action will have over it. Let's say you had a yo-yo hanging from your finger, but that yo-yo was sentient, and for some reason it really doesn't like you. When you're moving your hand to the side, you're essentially telling the yo-yo, "We're going this way." But the yo-yo doesn't like you, so it says no. Since it's connected to you by a leash, eventually it has no choice but to move with you. But the yo-yo isn't going to budge a second sooner than it has to. This series of events will happen both when you start and when you stop moving. The yo-yo will always be stubborn and reluctant. In order to determine which part of the motion is the hand and which part is the yo-yo, we need to ask ourselves, what is driving the action? Where is the energy and force of the action coming from? We can also use follow-through to our advantage. The more we break up our body into separate moving pieces, the more interesting the animation will be as a result. Follow-through movements aren't designed to look beautiful on a single frame. They're designed to look appealing in sequence as an enhancement to the main action. If an action happens rather quickly and is hard to read, we can use follow-through to its full extent to show the audience what happened even after the action is already done. We can also use follow-through in our moving holds. So we hit a pose and keep dragging the appendages into an even stronger version of that pose. In other words, extending the duration of the action's overlap. Follow-through and overlapping action work with a different set of physics from the main action, but they are completely reliant on what the main action does. So it's crucial to not only figure out, but finalize the movements from the main action before adding any overlap. If you're struggling to figure out what to add follow-through and overlapping action to, or how it would move, put yourself in the mindset of the character and feel out the action. If all else fails, you can always shoot reference footage and watch it back to see it in action. The overlap of an action will get stronger the further you get down the chain. So if your character has a ponytail, the tip of it will move last and the furthest distance. We can measure this by looking at the spacing between the positions on each frame. The closer to the root of the body we go, the less follow-through and overlapping action we will have.
At first, the cartoon medium was just a novelty, but it never really began to hit until we had more than tricks, until we developed personalities. We had to get beyond getting a laugh. They may roll in the aisles, but that doesn't mean you have a great picture. You have pathos in the thing.
Follow-through and overlapping action are both necessary to grasp a sense of realism in your work, and a fun tool to exaggerate and play with to get unrealistic yet believable results. And at the end of the day, fun believability is all we could ever hope for our animations to achieve.